This is Sunday streaming for the week of August 6th, 2017. 17? Jeez, it's already August since 2017, almost to 2018. How is everybody doing right now? It's Sunday. Game of Thrones Sunday. And we're just going to wait and see who pours in, starting a little bit later than normal. Dun, 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 dun. 4 likes, 1 dislike. Already starting off really well. Thank you guys for joining me today. The chat is live. 6 people watching. Jesse Say What? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. 12 watching. Hey, they're just pouring in right now. Rob, how are you? And yeah, it's a beautiful Sunday. So if you guys got questions, I've got answers. This is, of course, Sunday streaming. Jay, how's it going? Dylan. The dislike was already there like 10 minutes ago. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't care. Good. Thank you. Awesome, Rob. I'm happy to hear that. Starting off pretty good. 19 watching. Wow, this is going to be a good one. I can feel it. All right. So if you guys got questions, I've got answers. Can we talk about something real quick? Can we talk about the Hickman issue with Fantastic Four? I called it. I have been saying for years that the reason Marvel is no longer doing the Fantastic Four is because of the fact that Fox owns the movie rights. Don't give me that Fox can't, the movies don't affect the comics, because now it's clear that they do. It's more clear than ever. Hickman confirmed it the other day on Twitter, saying the reason there are no Fantastic Four comics right now is because of the fact that Marvel doesn't have the movie rights to them, so they don't want to really push out content for them. It's kind of sad. So I asked on the forums, where would you start with The Flash, Wade versus Johns? That's a good question. It's a good question because I'm going to have a video coming out this week on where to start with The Flash. So that's going to be fun. Owen Fillin. But you asked Wade versus Johns. I would start with Johns. What's up, man? I bought the first 5 volumes of Berserk and loved it. How many volumes collect the Griffith story arc? I believe Griffith is a villain throughout. Griffith's story is all the way throughout Berserk. If you're talking about the origins of the characters and all that stuff, and the what's called the Golden Age arc, that is volumes 3. I want to say volumes 3 through 13, and 14 kind of being the epilogue of the Golden Age arc where it ties everything up. So you want to get those volumes. Who do you find more endearing, Captain America or Superman? Superman. Steph Van Hees. You changed your name? Oh, I kind of like Tanky. It's fine. So if you guys got questions, I've got answers. Have I read Roughneck by Lemire already? I have not. However, I have heard that Roughneck by Jeff Lemire is a very, very solid read, although a bit short. I don't know how it compares to what many call his masterwork, which is Essex County, but I've heard good things. I've heard very good things. Lemire, where he excels at the most for me, is very much the kind of the everyman slice of life type of story, where it's very blue collar, it's very down to earth. He's really good at that, and I kind of wish he would stick to a lot of that stuff, kind of these graphic novel stories where he tells just one story and he's done. Obviously, that stuff doesn't pay the bills, which is why he does, he's been doing X-Men and things like that, and he did a wonderful run on Green Arrow that, by the way, if you have not read his run on Green Arrow, phenomenal stuff. His run on Green Arrow is fantastic. I have Daniel shipping in. Are you annoyed to those anti-social justice warriors, comic book YouTubers? I've tried to watch the videos, but I just end up rolling eyes. Dude, for the past, 4 weeks, people have been asking me the same question. You could look at some of the other stuff, but I've made my stance really clear on it. I don't really want to repeat myself too much or bring too much attention to them. But yeah, I am annoyed. I'm annoyed by them, and I like I've said a million times, I don't think they're helping the industry at all. I think they're just a bunch of assholes who Just they're seeking attention. That's all it is. For the most part, for the most part. I have the compendiums of The Walking Dead and saw your video of the omnibus, and now I have to buy the omnibus. Looks awesome. The omnibus editions of The Walking Dead are beautiful little packages. I absolutely recommend them to anybody who is not in a tight budget, can kind of splurge a little bit. But if you are somebody that you just want to read The Walking Dead, you just want the story, you don't need any special features, you don't need any of the covers or anything like that, and you don't need the art in oversized format, because Adler's art isn't exactly groundbreaking or gorgeous. It's workmanlike. It's pretty good stuff. Then the compendiums are the perfect edition for you. You can get those and you'll be happy. In fact, that's the route that once The Walking Dead is completely over, that's how I'm going to collect it. Have you read Jeff Lemire's Black Hammer yet? I have not. I've heard it's really good, has elements of Hellboy. I really want to sit down and read it, though. Nick Munoz is in the chat. How's it going, man? Congratulations on your wedding, by the way. Happily married a few weeks ago. Everybody give Nick a round of applause. He was married and he's still in law school. That is not an easy feat. I applaud you, man. Seriously, I really do. No joke, no joking. Will Walking Dead ever end? Walking Dead will end when it stops making money. That's when Walking Dead will end. And I think, well, Kirkman has said that he's got an ending in mind right now. He's got something planned, but he's been saying that for years. But he now has kind of like a definitive through line of, yes, The Walking Dead will end soon. I think personally, because he's starting to see the gravy train is starting to pull into the station and it's not really going any further. Last season, I believe, had, after the opening episode, which drew in record numbers, the weakest season finale out of the entire 7 seasons, I want to say, that the show's been on. And I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts this opening season will have one of the lower end of the of opening ratings for the TV show. It's kind of interesting because the hype for it has seemingly very much died down over the past few months. I think fans just did not respond well to the last season, and I think that has a, yeah. By the way, sell your singles now. Yeah, if you have Walking Dead singles, now is the time to sell. Like if you have a Walking Dead #1 or like a first appearance on Michonne or something like that, and you're like, man, I'm really waiting for the market. Actually, I would have said towards the middle of last season would have been the best time to sell your singles. But if you are really in the market to sell and you've been buying Walking Dead issues, get rid of them now. Now is the best time to get rid of them. You will get the best bang for your dollar possible, because I think it's all downhill from here. Hey, Matt Miranda, how's it going, man? Do you have any more Walking Dead omnibuses? No, I don't. I sold off those. Walking Dead sucks. I said it. Hey, I've seen some of the manga Fairy Tail. I enjoy it. Fire sale, everything. Harold, okay, the comic is still going strong for you. That's perfectly fine. But the show has gotten meh for you. And that's the general consensus of a lot of people online, where the show has kind of risen and peaked, and now it's just meh. It's just starting to fall off. So now is the time, like I said, if you are somebody that's interested in purchasing and selling off comics and you're kind of an investor in that area, get rid of them. Now is the time to get rid of them because you get the most bang for your buck. Hellboy's best story. That's really difficult. There are a lot of great Hellboy stories. Oh, I love Conqueror Worm. Conqueror Worm is fantastic, but for me right now, it'd probably be tied with Wild Hunt and Conqueror Worm. Simply because Wild Hunt is the culmination of everything that Mignola was building for years and years and years. And that is a nice through line into the death of Hellboy and the Fury and when he fights the dragon and all that stuff. That's part of the reason why I like Wild Hunt so much. Plus, Duncan Fegredo's art is, oh my god, and in Wild Hunt, it's phenomenal. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. Pancakes is great too. Uh, After season 3, the show dipped real fast. In quality, some people would argue that, but it wasn't until last season that people are starting to catch on. Maybe this show doesn't have as much steam as we originally thought. So it'll be interesting when we see the season premiere, and when we see uh it'll be interesting when we see the season premiere and when we see the ratings and the fallout and see if they can actually maintain the season premiere of Walking Dead and if they've actually lost the audience a little bit. I think what was the breaking point for a lot of Walking Dead fans was last season when they did the whole fake out with Glenn and the under the dumpster thing or whatever it was, and then they teased that for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and people were just like, yeah, fuck this, fuck this. We don't want to deal with this anymore. People just got burned out. There's a way to treat your audience with respect, and then there's another way to treat them like they're idiots. And that felt to me like they were treating them like they were idiots. Corbin's good. Yeah. Matt Miranda says Fregredo is the only person who can do Hellboy as good as Mignola. Though I like Corbin and the Crooked Man a lot. Corbin is very good, and the Crooked Man is very scary. What's the one that's doing the 1953 series? I think that's Pablo Rivera, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me on that. Somebody's doing the Hellboy 1953 series, and the art in it is phenomenal. It's absolutely gorgeous as well, and they do a really good job. Hardcover, I got Absolute Justice League, Absolute World's Greatest Superheroes, the New Frontier Deluxe Edition, and Superior Spider-Man hardcovers for $140 on Friday. How do you feel about Superior Spider-Man? Superior Spider-Man is fun, man. It's a great series. It's a great little take. Excuse me? Hold on one second. What? Superior Spider-Man. Superior Spider-Man is a fun series. It's a great take on Spider-Man that a lot of people, when it first came out, they weren't crazy about it. However, I have seen more people when Superior Spider-Man was going away and, eventually everything went back to normal and Peter came back and everybody was like, man, we really love Superior Spider-Man. I enjoy the hell out of it. I think Superior Spider-Man is a fun series. Yeah, the diehard Spider-Man fans, they complained and they moaned about it, as they always do, but I dug it. I really did dug it. And I was one of the ones that I was a little bit hesitant with it. I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to pull this off. Doc Ock being Peter, he shot somebody and all this other stuff. But they stuck the landing more than not. GSP versus Bisbing, Matt Miranda. GSP. And it's going to go all the rounds. GSP won't knock him out because GSP is... GSP is more along the lines of a Mayweather. He's not the most exciting fighter to watch, but he is brilliant. He's an absolutely brilliant fighter. He knows how to pick his fighters apart. If you want to talk about ground game, he's got it. Stand up, he's got it. He really is like the complete fighter. He's phenomenal. Yeah, you could take ring rust into account, but GSP is just on another level. Still bummed about the Jones fight. Yeah, I wasn't crazy about the Jones fight. I don't like Jones. As a person, I just don't like him. Yeah, my girl just said she felt bad for Cormier. I felt the same way too. I felt real bad for the guy. And Joe Rogan felt like shit because he broke his one rule about never interviewing somebody after they get knocked out, and basically that led to Cormier getting turned into an internet meme and a joke online. So Rogan even says on his podcast, he was like, "Yeah, I felt like shit after doing that interview. I fucked up," and he did. Anybody watching Game of Thrones? I know what's gonna happen the rest of the season already because there were leaks online and stuff like that, and yeah, I did a chat with Jess, and people were somebody spoiled something online, so I blocked the person. So fair warning, if you spoil anything of Game of Thrones on here, I will just block you. So yeah, somebody literally posted up a huge, like, this person must have spent at least a good 3 minutes typing this up because they posted everything that's going to happen the rest of the season because it was leaked online. So I already know what's going to happen, and I'm fine with that. It really doesn't bother me. So because they posted it, I looked up online and I was like, oh, okay, all right, doesn't bother me. I will say, without spoiling anything, you can tell they're diverting a lot from Martin's books because the fan service is insane. There is a lot of fan service. A lot. There is a lot of fan service going on for the rest of this season. And I was kind of disappointed with that. I like the fact that in Game of Thrones, you really don't know who's going to get got. You know, you don't know who's going to come out the winner because of the fact that Martin doesn't play favorites. He will kill off any character. You know, the Viper, okay, had it been the Viper, that actor and that character would have made it through all the way to now and still been alive if it was a regular TV show because he was super popular. And they would have said, "Oh, we can market the Viper. You know, we can hype this guy up. We can build something around him. We can build a prequel series around him or something like that." He would basically be the Daryl Dixon of Game of Thrones, where Daryl Dixon has what's called plot armor. They're not going to kill him because Daryl Dixon sells T-shirts. He sells products. So if Daryl Dixon is ever like in a situation where he's about to die or he's in a cliffhanger, there's no threat there. There's no sense of tension because of the fact you know he's going to live. Yeah, this is a Q&A. The way it's going, Martin will die before he finishes the books. I firmly believe he will. If you look at the guy, not exactly the epitome of picture perfect health. Fortunately, there are some fans online that say he already has the books written, um, and he's just waiting until the show's over to release his version of the books. That's the fan theory online. There are other fans that are saying he hasn't even really gotten halfway through Winds of Winter. And then there are other fans that are saying that he just pretty much gave up, that he's not going to finish it. Dun, dun. What kind of fan service? Favorite superhero movies? That's a good question. I won't say Dark Knight. I don't. I'm the odd man out of my friends because I don't feel that Dark Knight is really. And I talked to actually Tyler about this. Tyler Bott, when he came here and we hanged out for a bit, he agreed with me. Dark Knight really isn't a superhero movie. It's more of a crime film. And I know that's not the popular opinion, but I would say Batman Begins is a superhero movie. Dark Knight is a crime film. Uh, so with that said, I would say my favorite superhero movie is Guardians of the Galaxy. Logan is good. Yeah, Logan is good. He started the series in '92. Yeah. Well, the thing is with Martin, he started the series in '92, and you guys can quote me on this because I'm not, a die hard Game of Thrones fan where I know every single little detail about the series. But I think I had always heard that he had planned out for 4 books. It was either 3 or 4 books, but it got so big and it got so out of hand that he realized he could not finish the series and do it justice within the span of those 4 books. Um, and once he got up to book 3, he fired his editor, or his editor quit. And after that is when a lot of fans started complaining that the books were too big, that there was too much going on, that he needed to scale back, that he needed a better editor. So I think that's kind of where he's at. It's too much. It's way too much. Ant-Man is my favorite MCU film. Ant-Man's a good MCU film. It's a very underrated one. It's really fun. I like Ant-Man. I think the last thing I heard was that with book 6, he was, God, this was probably years ago, maybe halfway through it. Top 3. Oh, I would hate to be an editor for George R. R. Martin. Top 3 Morrison books besides All-Star Superman. That's a hard one. I was a huge fan. Okay. Loved, love, love. Okay, Batman and Robin. I loved his Batman and Robin. Um, Loved. What else? This is kind of hard. Ooh, oh, what's the book he did with Sean Murphy? Joe the Barbarian. Love Joe the Barbarian. And you guys are gonna hate me for this. There was one on the top of my head that I cannot remember right now. His X-Men. That's what it was. There you go. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, his X-Men run. Remember when you said you would Flashpoint the DCU? It will be old news now, but they're doing it. I've been saying Flashpoint the DC universe for a long time. Have I read Black Magic by Greg Rucka? I have not. I need to get on that. There's a lot of stuff that I need to read, especially now that we're getting closer and closer to the end of the year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually even do the end of the year podcast with the guys, simply because I really haven't read too much new stuff this year. You know, they keep all the guys and all the other guys, Giovanni, Gabe, Jess, Riley, they keep up with newer stuff than I do, just because they're able to. I'm not as able to keep up with newer stuff like they are. So I don't know if I'll be able to join in on the end of the year stuff, simply because I don't know if I'll be able to add anything to it. What have I been reading lately? I've been reading Hunter x Hunter. Let me see. One Piece. A lot of manga lately. As far as books go, I've been reading Blood Meridian, which is phenomenal. Cormac McCarthy that man has just a way with words where he could turn a handful of words into an image in your head, unlike anybody that I've ever experienced with. It's phenomenal. I've been reading that. I have Kill or Be Killed, the trade paperback, on the way, and I plan to start reading the second hardcover of East of West sometime this week. Just has that oil money. How are you enjoying the switch to digital? What devices are you reading on? Right now I'm using the just because it came with my new Galaxy S8. I've been using the Galaxy Tab E, and it's not bad. It's it's not obviously not as good as an iPad or anything, but it's actually serviceable. I've been using Marvel Unlimited, Comixology, and a few things like that. I've been loving the hell out of switching to digital. I really dig switching to digital. It's just so much easier for me. You know what? I've never seen No Country for Old Men, and I've never read the book. I've heard No Country for Old Men has kind of an ending to it, though. The movie at least. iPad is overrated for just digital. I've heard that actually. I've heard the iPad is a bit overrated for digital comics. I have friends who they use Kindle, and they swear by the Kindle tablet, and they love it. But my girl has an iPad, and the images do look clearer on there. She loves her iPad. Huh? Yeah, the battery life. The drawback for the iPad is that the battery life sucks. And we've been using the tablet all day because we don't have cable, so we cast from the tablet to the TV, and the battery on that thing does not quit. It's been going all day. And what percent is it on right now? We've been using it all day too. And then I read comics on it. It has a battery that just will not quit. How much is it? On 42%. It was at probably 60-70% this morning when we started casting on it, and we've been using it all day. And then reading stuff on it.
30%.
Huh?
Mine's already on 30%.
Yeah, and my girlfriend's is on 30%. She's barely touched it. So that thing is a beast in terms of battery life, and I've been reading on it a lot. I'm one of those weird people that reads digital on phone. I couldn't do it. I could not do it, man. I've tried it. I really have tried it, but I couldn't do it on a phone. It's just too small. I haven't tried it yet on this Galaxy S8 Plus. I know it's not a sponsor for Samsung, but it's got a really wide screen, so I'm kind of curious how it would look. But I need the tablet. I need the actual size of a real comic. Yeah, the guided view on Comixology, it helps a lot, but it's just the screen size is too small for me. At least that's how it was when I had an iPhone. Why is everything going VR these days? VR is just really popular. It's kind of the it thing right now, although nobody has really proven or come out with a killer app for VR yet. I've heard the PlayStation VR is not bad. It's actually really good. The problem is that I've heard a lot of people say if you have an HDR TV and a 4K TV, you can kind of get the signals a little bit screwed up. So you got to fidget a little bit with certain settings in order to get it right. And that's a pain in the ass. But other than that, I'm not interested in VR. I used the Note 4 and 5, bad experience. Hey, at least you don't have a Note 7 and have it blow up in your face. Digital is boring to me. I pretty much only buy trades. With Nick tying the knot, when is married life going to make an honest man out of you? Putting you on the spot. I don't know yet. You think Old Man Logan by Jeff Lemire will come out like official hardcover or omnibus? I don't know. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already, considering how popular the character is, especially after the Logan movie. What games are you planning on getting by the end of the year? There's really nothing that lights a fire under me for the end of the year stuff. What's coming out at the end of the year? There's nothing out there that I'm thinking, man, I have to have this. Except for Super Mario Odyssey, I'm going to have. The new Super Mario game looks like too much fun. Oh, Assassin's Creed Origins. Yeah, my girl just pointed out. I'm going to have to get Assassin's Creed Origins. Last of Us 2 isn't this year. I'm telling you right now, we will not see Last of Us 2 until 2019. Early 2019 at best. Late 2019 at the absolute latest, kind of diving into 2020. Well, that game is so far away. How come US schools start so early? In the UK, we go back mid-September. But when do you guys start your summer break? Because it could be a thing where you guys start later than us. Spider-Man game looks good. It looks very good. Logan is one of those movies that every time I watch it, I love it more and more. I've seen the movie already probably like 4 times, and I absolutely love that thing. What single issues are on my pull list right now? Oh, what's Flash Rebirth? I've been reading that. I've been digging the hell out of that. Joshua Williamson's really good. He's underrated. What else have I been reading? I've stopped reading Tom King's Batman, not because it's not good, but because I really want to get the hardcovers for it. What other single issues have I been reading? Let's see. What's that Rick Remender book? 7 to Eternity, I think is what it's called. I'm bad with names. Confession time. I don't like The Dark Knight. Hey, everybody's got different taste. How is Logan Noir? Logan Noir is good. It's really, really good, especially if you have Hello. The reason, like I was saying, the reason that I think Logan in color is better is because the whole reason why, part of the reason why it was rated R is because it could be gritty. You could actually see blood, and you could actually see violence, and you could see Wolverine cut loose, and it was a darker story. I think it takes a bit away from that because the blood isn't as apparent. And I'm not somebody that like, oh my god, I have to see blood on screen or else it's not a bad movie. But there was something about the impact of seeing like Wolverine actually cut loose that's lessened a little bit in Logan Noir. Still a great movie. Still fantastic. Dun, 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 dun. Pickled Rick. Pickle Rick. I'm still second season of Rick and Morty. I've seen the first season, and it's hilarious. Any news on Coppola coming back to Batman? He's coming back for Batman for DC Metal. Yeah, he's coming back for DC Metal. Which it's shaping up to be an interesting event. Have you guys seen how many books are involved in the not DC Metal, Batman Metal, in the whole Batman Metal thing? It's crazy, absolutely crazy how many books they've got going on in that event. I didn't even count. I just saw the list and I was like, oh my god. Which once everything is said and done, you're gonna get a nice little hardcover of like DC Metal and then the side stories. Why do I keep saying DC Metal, Batman Metal, and all the side stories? Watch Venture Brothers. Never seen it. Nick, you've never seen Rick and Morty? You need to, man. Rick and Morty's fun. What are some books that you'll never sell, even if you go completely digital? I have three books, three sets of books. The first one is the Parker Martini edition, because Darwin Cook signed it, and he spelled my name wrong in it. I still find it funny. It's no big deal. He signed it, spelled my name wrong in it, and he did a sketch of Parker inside of it. I will never sell that, especially now that the books are out of print. And New Frontier Absolute Edition, because he did the same thing inside that book, signed it, and he got my name right this time, and did a sketch inside of it of Hal Jordan. And the other one, I will not sell my Hellboy Library editions. Yeah, he spelled it Louise. I found it kind of funny. I was like, oh, he spelled it wrong. At the time, I was like, oh man, but it's fine. It's fine. Absolute Preacher. Yeah, I probably wouldn't sell Absolute Preacher either because it will probably never happen. But I would love to meet Garth Ennis and get him to sign it. I read Punk Rock Jesus, and I've got to say I really didn't like it. Just felt like a really big rant against Christianity. But they got the media stuff right, though. I could see that. I could definitely see your point of view. Um, Sean Murphy is a self-proclaimed atheist, very much so. If you've got a chance, he's explained his story of why he's an atheist, and it's pretty interesting, as am I. That's probably kind of why I like Punk Rock Jesus so much. Um, but it's still a damn good looking book, man. Very good looking book, and it's still a fun read. Still very fun read. But I can see your point of view. What kind of women do I like? By my girlfriend. Well, the woman that's sitting on the couch right now playing Splatoon 2 is a good choice. That's a good choice. Punk Rock Jesus ending. That last panel was so great. Oh, it's phenomenal. Oh my god, it's so good. That last panel, Punk Rock Jesus, is just ah. Nick says, "Good move, baby." He's a newlywed guy and he's in law school. Dun, dun. Yeah, it tends to happen when there's a lot of people using the internet here. We have a lot of devices connected to it, and even then, I pay for the best internet, and still this crashes all the time. Jesus, then should know. Like I was saying though, I've read books that have a very heavy Christian influence to them, and it doesn't bother me. I know what I'm getting into, and I know that they tend to lean that way. For example, one of my favorite kind of like cultish little side project movies. It's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I still enjoy it. Is Book of Eli. Book of Eli is a really good movie. It's a fun movie, and you know what happens at the end of the Book of Eli? It's a very heavily influenced Christian film. Um, fun fact, by the way, I'm gonna spoil Book of Eli for those of you that have never read it. At the end of Book of Eli, you find out he's blind. If you have the surround sound of Book of Eli, if you watch the movie in surround sound, wherever he turns his head, the surround sound shifts to that point of view. So you experience basically how Eli hears. It's really cool. Left Behind. I've never read the Left Behind series. I've heard it's not terrible. The book with Kirk Cameron. I've heard the movies are trash. Do I like Colbert? I do. I like Colbert, although I think what Colbert is doing now is that he's joining in on everybody. And by no means do I like this man, because I don't like Trump at all. But Trump has become the easy joke. He has become the easy one for everybody to pick on, and by no means do I like him. I think he's a terrible president, and I think he's an idiot, and I've made that very clear. But everybody picks on him, and everybody cracks jokes on him, and it's become to the point where it's like, oh yeah, you're kind of beating that horse to death, and there's really no weight to it, and the comedy is gone from it. Which is why I respect the guys from South Park who they said, if I'm not mistaken, that they will not do any Trump jokes simply because it's been done. It's been beaten to death, you know? And Colbert's kind of like, his ratings were dipping, and then he did a huge rant where he destroyed Trump. And then his ratings picked back up, and he's kind of gotten onto that same thing over and over and over again, where he keeps doing the same thing that Trevor Noah is doing, that all these other guys are doing. It's just become low-hanging fruit. And some of it is deserved because, frankly, I think the man is a bit of an idiot. Trump is. But, it's become a little bit of like, oh, okay, you're doing this. I thought Book of Eli was live action Fallout. It pretty much is. It's pretty much live action Fallout. I take the hell out of Book of Eli. I think it's a really fun movie. Here comes the thumbs down. John Oliver is my favorite of all. John Oliver is the one where, out of all of them, he tackles so many different things and such a broad thing. It's not always just, the Trump. Again, by no means do I support Trump at all. I can't stand the guy. But it's not where every single week he has a 20-minute segment or a 10-minute segment or a 5-minute segment on what Trump did and how he's an idiot, because that gets stale after a while. Yeah, last week tonight is the best out of all of these late night shows. John Oliver absolutely crushes it, and he's doing the best out of all of them. And I think also that has to do with the fact that John Oliver gets a week to prep. He gets a week to sit with the writing staff, craft jokes, see what's going on, versus something like The Daily Show or Colbert or Jimmy Kimmel, where they only have a few hours. Okay, what happened today? All right, come on, we got to crank out jokes. We got to put something out there. We got to have something for tonight. Whereas John Oliver gets the week, he gets more time to craft everything and to let everything boil and to let everything sit. So they get more room to breathe. And on Sunday, when John Oliver goes, he comes out swinging with some of the best stuff. Never read The Road. Bill Maher is good. Bill Maher is good. I like Bill Maher. The only problem that I have with Bill Maher is that as a person, he kind of comes off as a bit of a prick. Yeah. I like seeing who he sits down with and the panel and stuff like that, but as a person, he can kind of rub me the wrong way. Dun, 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 dun. Let's get back to up here. Finally finished reading BPRD Plague of Frogs and can't wait to read Hell on Earth. Hell on Earth just gets better and better and better, man. No, I mean, I'm not, I don't like talking about politics too much in terms of this channel, but I am passionate about it and I do like studying it. So, if if you ask me questions about it, I'll typically answer. Have I read Letter 44 by Charles Soule? No, I've wanted to read Letter 44. I find it really interesting how the letter that somebody leaves you is presidents. So for those of you that don't know, when a president leaves the White House and somebody's coming in, there is a letter that that president leaves, the former one, for the new president. It could be advice, it could be wishing them good luck or something like that, but that is for that president's eyes only. Um, Charles Soule's Letter 44 puts kind of a sci-fi twist to it. And I've never read it. I've heard it's good. Do you like Dr. Fate, and can you name anything good with him in it? Yes. The JSA stuff from Jeff Johns' run is really good. He plays a huge part in it. I like Paul Levitz for Dr. Fate. They also prank you. Yeah, Jeff Johns' JSA stuff where Dr. Fate plays a part in it is really good stuff. Is BPRD Vampire out of print? I can't find it anywhere. Yes. BPRD Vampire is massively out of print. And the sad part about it is that if you get the BPRD 1940 series, 1950 series, the hardcover that came out, BPRD Vampire is actually the follow-up to that series. So you won't be able to actually finish that series until you find BPRD Vampire. Helio Chitamba. Hey, Lewis. Almost forgot to thank you. That video you made of Superman was truly an art of work. Thank you. Oh, awesome. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Do I like Doctor Who? I watched the Tennant series, and I watched the Eccleston series, and I liked what I saw. I just fell off after that. I'll probably jump on to the new female Doctor, though. Confession. I love the Constantine movies with Keanu Reeves. I like Constantine. Constantine is a good movie, man. That's a good, fun movie. I like bed knobs and broomsticks. Can you guys at least hear me? Because there's no video right now. Your network connection is experiencing difficulty. There we go. Putting fruit on pizza is just wrong. I agree. Putting fruit on pizza is just wrong. I heard Deadwood is getting a movie. That's the rumor. I I heard Deadwood is getting a movie, and the thing is, the Deadwood, if you've ever seen Deadwood, I've never seen it, but I've heard it has an ending that has one of the biggest cliffhangers in it, and fans have been crying for the ending for a long time. Yeah, but they've been saying that for like 10 years. Yeah, One Piece is about 65% done. He said that he's a little over halfway done with One Piece. And there's over 80 volumes of One Piece already. That's a lot of One Piece. What's the weirdest place you've ever read a comic book? Weirdest place I've ever read a comic book. The morgue. I've read a comic book at the morgue once. Because during college, I'm a criminal justice major. So during college, they, as one of the things for a homicide class that I took, by the way, I can actually get away with a lot of things thanks to that class. During the one class in college that I took that was involving homicide, they took us to the morgue. So I was reading a Superman comic at the morgue because I had my tablet with me and I was just swiping through and I was waiting for everybody else to get there. Well, Otis found a cow, so he's milking it for all he can. Yeah, can't blame him. Good, because I guess I'm catching up to you. Hey, I just started reading One Piece right now. If you really want a good way to read One Piece, the 3-in-1 editions are great. Yeah, the 3-in-1 editions are fantastic. What do you teach? What grade level? I teach. What do I teach and what grade level? I teach special needs kids. More specifically, I teach kids that have autism, and I teach 9th through 12th. So for those of you out there that are wondering, and I enjoy it. It's not bad. Somebody asked me, okay, what's my favorite character in Full Metal Alchemist? My favorite character of Full Metal Alchemist is Armstrong. Love Armstrong. Yeah, love me some Armstrong. I'm new to comics, but Venom was one of the first things I picked up and fell in love with. I think Venom is a great character. When you're a kid, you love Venom. It's just he looks badass, you know, and you really don't care like about the stories or anything. You just like, oh, Venom looks cool. He's intimidating. He's badass. He's big. He's intimidating. So that's why he draws in so many people. So it's not unheard of. Your aunt has taught special needs children for 20 years plus. Man, kudos to her. Because 20 years of that is not easy. I respect that, dude. But there are people that at my school that's been doing it for 13, 14 years at this point. It's not easy. You're going to upgrade to the Full Metal Alchemist hardcovers coming out next year? We're getting Full Metal Alchemist covers next year? I didn't hear that. Probably not, because I have the whole series. I have the box set, the all-in-one box set. I paid like $100 for it. I can't comprehend how someone could come up with a story that spans over like 80 plus volumes. You know, you make money. They make money, man. That's how. They make money. Not saying that Oda, you know, because, okay, I'm still really early on in One Piece. I'm only on like the 6th volume of One Piece right now. And it's so much fun. It's such a fun series. I dig the hell out of it. I've been doing that, and I've been finally really diving into Hunter x Hunter. I've been loving the hell out of Hunter x Hunter. That is a fun series. So I've been digging that a lot too. I'm still getting the Akira box set, right? I might not be, simply because that's towards the end of the year. Money's going to be tight because we're going to be moving pretty soon. When you're writing the best-selling manga in history, you'd be a fool to not carry it on for over 80 volumes. I agree with that, actually. Fingers crossed for the new live-action Spawn movie. That thing is dead in the water. Me and Jess, we talked about that on the Jess and Hardcover News Show that you can find on patreon.com/hardcover reviews for $5. The link is in the description below. $5 a month gets you on that show. Gets you the link to that show. Me and Jess talked about it, and that thing is dead in the water. How come you move so much? Well, I have rent. I rent. I don't know how things are overseas, but I rent here, and every single year, if you rent here in Florida, especially in this kind of area, they jack up your rent by $100, and I'm paying enough as it is, so we're gonna look for a cheaper place. That's why I move so much. Which sucks, because once you start getting everything established and once you start getting everything set up, and my dog is barking again, being annoying. Hold on. Friends and family have just arrived to watch Game of Thrones tonight, and my dog is going crazy. So every Sunday we do Game of Thrones night at my house, and my dog will. All right, so with that, I'm gonna actually have to end this stream a little early because my dog won't shut up, and I've got guests over at the house. So wishing you guys a great night. Watch Game of Thrones tonight and enjoy it. If you guys have not thought about supporting me, please, guys, consider it. Down below is a link in that description called patreon.com/hardcover reviews. $5 a month, guys. The price of a coffee gets you the Justin Hardcover News Show, and a whole swath of other stuff. $10 gets you even more stuff. I know I've been saying it. I plan to post up the notes for all my voiceover stuff that I've been doing, so you guys can look over that and see as far as my process goes and all that good stuff. There's a swath of content in there. Please help a brother out. Subscribe. It's only a little bit. It's the price of a coffee. You guys afford more expensive books. Love you. Have a great week.